Welcome back to Allowed to Ask, a First Rounds on Media production. You've heard us talk about the dating app First Rounds on Me, and we absolutely love it, as you know. The app's all about encouraging you to actually go on a date rather than just endlessly scrolling through a million profiles. While most dating apps want you to stay hooked on the app and lost in the endless swipe, First Rounds on Me wants you in and out, helping you foster real-life connections. It's inspired by a time when people actually met up in person. Guess what? You can get a free month of their subscription with code A2A, and the link will be in the show notes. Hi.
Bow. Yeah.
There we go.
Love it.
That being
so good.
said, we're sitting here with the super energetic post-work hours. Nigel.
Hey.
Hi.
How's it going? Which camera am I looking at?
All
this
of them.
one?
Like literally all of them.
What up?
Yeah, it
They'll
will literally
find you.
They'll go to you when you talk.
We need your energy now.
I know. It's actually funny because every time we go like on the way to the podcast, like we just like drain each other's energies. And every time we're going, we're like, wow, we're tired. And then we literally sit our asses down and we're like, let's fucking go.
You guys turn it on.
Yeah. And then after we're like so on like a rush, like we're so like energized by every single one of our guests.
And you know how I say I always fall in love with the guest? I already like him.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
You're gonna have
Moms
to hear
love me.
Yeah,
No,
I could tell.
I will say.
No, I could tell
Yeah.
and my mom is like
you have great energy.
Yeah, ladies, that's a plus in dating me. Your mom.
exactly.
Love me.
Literally, you met 5 minutes ago. My mom's already crushing.
Me and Janny go way back.
Literally go. So tell us about yourself. I feel like you do 1 million things. I know you're like history obsessed, but then you also do music and you just know everything about New York. I don't know if I touched on even half of the things you actually do, but tell us everything about you.
Yeah, so I've always like tried to be a multi-hyphenate, right?
Okay.
I never want to like, if I'm not staying busy, I go insane.
Nuts,
right?
Nuts.
So
she taught me to be that way.
Great.
Yeah.
And so did my mom. My mom is very, like, I think type A might be a strong word, but she's very aspirational, very motivational, right? And so I grew up kind of with that.
Right.
And so let's see, what do I do? I work in sports media. That's my 9 to 5, helps pay the bills. New York is so fucking expensive.
So expensive.
So expensive. I run multiple social media pages. So I have New York City History Hub. I have Nigel Roxbury. And then I have my Dumb Hot show.
How did you start Dumb Hot?
I got sober. That was like really the first thing was like getting sober and getting my life together was the most important thing, right?
Yeah.
I at first started a show called Cafe with Creators, which I would go grab a cup of coffee with a creator and I would have like 3 questions for him. It was fun, good. I got to meet cool people and just talk to like some friends I hadn't seen in a while, but it was really dependent on if the audience liked the creator, right? So with Dumb Hot, it could just be like really any, person.
It's so good.
Yeah. And
explain to people what Dumb Hot is.
Dumb Hot
I know what it
is the show where I try to find out if hot people are more than just their looks. I ask them like, are you smarter than a 3rd grader trivia questions?
We would probably not do.
I should have brought my microphone.
No, we would have just been hot.
But what reminds me of it is I have a brother who has since passed away, but when I was young, he always used to put me on the spot and ask me questions. I think I was cute. I don't know if I was hot, but I didn't like it. Like I was so intimidated by it that if I saw you and
you were hot, by the way,
I'd probably want to pass out. Like I'd be so nervous that I couldn't get the question.
Janie, not only are you hot now, you definitely were a mega babe.
She was
back in the day.
smoke.
Yeah, look at your daughter. Your daughter's stunning. It, doesn't fall far from the tree.
So we would just be hot, and dumb.
But
we'd be dumb and hot.
Let's hear about him, and then we have the whole little dumb hot.
Okay, yeah.
Okay,
we're gonna dumb hot you. Actually,
basically, I try to. I love making content. Right. I love what I love. So that's history. I guess like random knowledge, trivia. Like I'm always trying to learn.
Right.
That was something my mother instilled in me is like always be learning and always be progressing.
No, it's good.
And when I was drinking, I wasn't doing that.
Right.
So as a sober person, I'm back to like where I was at 15, 16, where I was very, again, like aspirational and going for it and playing sports and, doing school and trying to figure out college and girls and everything. Right. Yeah. So no, Dumb Hot has been I'm not even like a religious person, but a blessing in a way, because I've gotten to meet so many cool people. It's been, a success. I've gotten some business opportunities through it, but really I get to meld my 2 loves, which is making people laugh and getting to like interact with new people. And
you're defining us right now.
Exactly. And when I was drinking, I was always the one at the bars. So like Janny, I know your name's Janice, but I just love calling you Janny. So like, let's say young hottie Janny on the scene, right? I'm at a bar.
She was also also wasted, by the way.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
of
that's why I
course.
kind of stopped drinking, because when I went out, I just drank to get wasted, to deal with the crowds and deal with the night.
I couldn't stop once I started.
Yeah, it just wasn't. And then I felt like shit the next day.
Yeah, exactly. It becomes a problem.
Yeah.
I felt like crap for like 3 or 4 days after, So it was like so debilitating to the rest of my life. And like, I wasn't the greatest employee. I wasn't the greatest, like, boyfriend, all these things. So, I mean, getting sober was like the most important thing I could have done for everything. But when I was drinking, I would be the question master. Like, my line going up to girls sometimes was just like a random trivia question. And like, decent success rate, I guess. Or like if we were sitting at a table at a dive bar, I would be like, what's the capital of Oregon? Who are the presidents on Mount Rushmore?
I would run away from you.
I would also.
You're so hot though.
No, I would be so intimidated by you. I would shut down and be nervous.
I'm the question girl when I'm at like group dinners, but they're not history. It's more like, would you rather like be on top for the rest of your life or like never get eaten out again?
Yeah,
like, that's my type of question.
That's her trivia.
That's my trivia.
And you know what? That's a great question. I'm trying to think.
How do you intertwine all like the different facets of your life kind of, or do you really separate them when it comes to like dumb hot, the history stuff, and your full time?
Yeah. So, I mean, with my full-time job, it's also in social media, right? So the two kind of go hand in hand.
Right.
I learn things on the job that I can then bring to my own content, which is great. It really helps. But no, I think I've done a good job of like separation but meld at the same time. I have like the different pages, right? For example, and when I'm at work, I'm like really focused on work, and then after I can come here, I can make a video, all these things, and I'm really good at kind of utilizing my time to like its proper effectiveness. That doesn't mean I'm not on College Football 25 still trying to like get my player a Heisman on Road to Glory.
I don't even know what that means,
which I know. I think I just like went full dude there.
Yeah, no, that was like my mind just turned mush. That sounds really manly.
That one's for the homies.
Yeah.
But
are you from New York?
No. So I'm from the Pacific Palisades. Just went through a huge event. It's okay.
Sorry.
Childhood home's gone. Current home's gone. Parents are super strong. They're like, my mother is, yes, she's feeling it, but like she's like, fuck them. We're gonna rebuild.
Yeah.
They, have great insurance. Thank God. All these things. It'll take a few years.
A lot of people didn't have insurance, which was
a lot of people. So it happened at the top of the year. This fire. A lot of people's insurance ran out at the top of 2025. A lot of people were denied claims for the upcoming year. All these things. So it's just like the worst timing ever for them.
I've been to the Palisades a few times, and
it's
it was just like it was beautiful,
beyond beautiful.
Like the prettiest town. Like it's kind of like Westport on crack. Like it was just like stunning.
And my cousins lived in Westport.
Yeah, it's just like Staples. It's that times like and Westport's a beautiful town. Like it was just that times like a bajillion.
It was kind of like
beautiful.
an oasis within Los Angeles. It didn't really feel like you were in LA
on like
there.
top of the hill. Like it was so. Hillary used to always take me there.
Yeah, kind of separated from a lot of things. And my mother specifically. So I grew up there, but I think it was a very big financial struggle for them because they wanted me to have a better life than what they had.
We all want that.
Yes, exactly. They were renting in the Palisades, and I do think like the financial struggles like didn't help with like the dissolution of their marriage at the end of the day.
Right.
And my mom, so that was when I was 11. My mom then saves up for 15, 16 years to get back to the Palisades.
Wow.
And then for it to all go away like that, I really like feel for her. And her birthday's tomorrow.
Oh, so happy birthday.
Yeah. Hey Liz, happy birthday.
Happy birthday,
but like,
Liz. You talk so highly of her. It's very sweet.
Oh, she's my best friend. We talk every day.
I think we need your mom on here.
Yeah, what the F?
My mom's awesome, a great conversationalist. She's a little like traditional in the way of like she tries not to swear or like
oh my God.
With dumb hot. She's like, oh, that's cute. But like, do they have to be like really hot?
Yeah.
Like, kind of. But no, she's really the best, and they'll bounce back.
They will.
They have all the proper like they have the plans for their home already like saved and everything, so they'll bounce back. The Palisades will probably take over 2 decades to like get back to where it was. There's a lot of old architecture there that's gone. So that's
what about schools and stuff for
schools
like young
are gone.
Kids?
My elementary school flattened.
Yeah, like what is
the high school?
And it's not just like your family's obviously looking for a new home too. It's like bajillion other people who are there.
And these LA real estate agents are trying to price gouge rentals. in LA.
That's
I
so
heard that.
Which is
I heard
so
that.
scummy,
So scummy.
and gross. I made a video
Yeah.
on it today. I was just
I
like,
love that. I can't wait to see it.
you are terrible people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's so shitty.
Yeah.
Well, sending my love and happy birthday
Thank
to your
you.
mom, Les.
Thank
Yes.
you.
Okay, I want to take this to like the dating route. So you're single right now.
Yes.
At this moment.
Yes, I am.
Maybe not tomorrow, maybe not yesterday, but right now you're
Right,
single.
exactly. Yes,
This minute.
exactly.
Right now you're
Yeah.
single. You must be really fun to go on a date with because you probably have so much shit to say. Which is great. As like from a girl's perspective, like when I used to go on dates, like it would be horrible when I was like dragging the conversation.
Yes.
So you must be a very fun date because you're probably just blabbering.
Yeah, you know what's funny about what you just said is when I was dating early on, I think like nerves would take over. I wasn't as self-assured, all these things, wasn't as confident.
Totally.
But I would always ask, what was your worst first date?
Oh.
How old are you, by the way?
I'm 29. I'm turning 30 next month.
Oh, happy
birthday.
You know,
No,
Wait, when's your birthday?
February 22nd.
Nice. I think I'm going to thrive in my 30s, but it's a whole different conversation. But we'll get there.
Me too. Going into my 30s sober, I think it'll be a lot better.
You're ready to rock.
No one wants to be that like 30-plus-year-old at the bar, like, what's up, ladies?
Like wasted? No. This is the better look for you.
That's not cute. What were we talking about?
Blabbering on dates. And you said when you were early 20s, you were nervous, so you weren't.
Yes, but I would always ask what your worst first date is. And a lot of the answers revolved around the guys being boring, them not asking questions, or them over talking and, her not getting a word in edgewise, right? So I always took that to heart and thought, okay, I want to be genuinely curious about this person. I think I'm like, one of my like favorite traits about myself is my overall curiosity for humanity. My mom's a therapist. I think I got that from her.
You meet Les.
Yo, Leslie is a G.
Yeah.
You'd love her. She hates New York.
Really?
So she rarely comes
Cali
here.
vibes.
And I was wondering why you came to New York.
That I love New York to death.
Okay.
It's the only place I ever want to be. To death.
Yeah. No,
Okay.
same.
No, I've wanted to live here since I was 7 years old. I visited for the first time at that age, came back to California and then Texas, but it was always here. And yeah, I really don't see myself living anywhere else.
New York is the best city in the world. And I always say it, like, you can never just like bop into a restaurant and then go to the bar next door and then like have a full night or full day in any other city. Like on Saturdays, I never have plans. I leave my apartment. I do a workout class in the morning. I'm back in my apartment at 10 p.m. It's like, what did I do all day?
Yeah.
I don't know.
You just can get lost in the city too. And like, I always said this when I was drinking a lot too, but like the bar hopping aspect, but what you just said, take bars out of it.
Yeah.
Restaurant hopping to a museum to an art
pottery
gallery.
class. Yeah.
Oh, I got a call from my friend. Oh, you're in the same neighborhood. Let's go. Like
grab a coffee.
Yeah, exactly. So that is like the what's the word I'm looking for? The variety of New York is really what I love as well.
Right.
And kind of the people here are so, I think this is like could be an issue in dating. And what I've seen is people are very selfish here in a good way. And what I mean by that is that they're very career and success driven, as opposed to I think in other regions of the world.
Right.
You lead with like love relationship first, then build career. Here it's completely flipped.
But do you think that's a good thing necessarily?
It really depends on your morality and your traditional ways of thought. So like my traditional ways of thought are it'll happen someday and I'll be a good parent and husband when it does.
Right.
But growing up in Austin, Texas for that second half of my childhood, 75% of my friends are either in long-term relationships, have kids, or are married.
Different.
Very rare is someone there single, like late into their 20s, right? So you almost like grow together there, as here you try to be as, no one's ever complete, but you try to be as like molded of an individual as you can before I think you find yourself heading into like the marriage route, right? And so
I think it's also about like taking yourself out of any like certain stereotypes. So like, are you Jewish?
I'm not.
Okay, so like I'm Jewish. I'm from like Westchester, New York, like Northeast Jew, and like there's this whole precedent around like, oh, you're hitting 30s, like you should be in a relationship and you should be getting married. Like most people I know, even in high school these days, younger than me, like, and I'm 28, are married already. Like it's so crazy to think that like at a certain age, societal norms make you feel like you're older than you actually are. When really like I'm 28. Like that's very, very young, I would like to think.
It is.
So, right, like you said, like in other, even in Austin, for example, right, you were saying it's probably, there's a pressure around like being 24 and getting married.
Sure.
And you kind of took yourself out
I think a
of
lot
that.
of people in the South like go to school with kind of the intention to like
get their misses.
Yes.
No,
exactly.
my dad says the MRS degree. Mrs.
Yeah,
degree.
MRS degree. Well, Janie, I have a question. Like, so
I love it.
you know, as an adult, as a grown up,
I'm a grown up.
as a grown up, but a cool grown
But
up.
she's not a woman. She's a girl.
I always say I'm a girl.
But you know, do you see our generation as like what do you think of like us maybe getting into marriages later, having kids later?
I mean, you might have felt pressure, but I really don't pressure my kids.
That's good.
I mean, I think it happens when it's supposed to happen. I mean, you don't want, I bet you there's some people out there who are hanging on to somebody for dear life just because they want to get married. Marriage is hard. You need to find a great partner for yourself, someone who's going to help you grow.
You sent me a video. I forgot who it was. It was some CEO and
the guy.
I don't know who it was.
The most important decision you ever make in life is who you marry.
I think I know
you
what video
need.
you're talking about.
Yeah, it's like an older gentleman.
Yeah,
because you need a very strong partner to have your back. Like life is hard, and there's so many T's to cross and I's to dot. Like there's so much going on. And if you like, I mean, I'm very traditional. Like if the guy's out there, I mean, she'll probably always work too, but if the guy's out there, you know, building a business and out of the house all day, I do think, you know, we always do pink and blue jobs. Like
that was from my friend Rachel. She always says like, what's a pink job versus a blue job?
You know,
For
I
example,
did a lot
blue
of the
job,
kids
taking out the
stuff.
garbage, pink job, making a bed.
Yeah,
I did a lot of the things with the kids and stuff. My husband was out of the house all day. I don't know if people really do that anymore. I think it's changed, but
I think that's changed over time. Like I think I think it's totally just dependent on the parent too. Like I don't think I ever felt really pressure from my parents, more so my mom versus my dad. Like my dad would just make jokes like, "Oh, you're gonna be single forever," but that was just like my dad being a dad.
I just wanted you to have emotional connection. I didn't care if you got. I knew you were ready just to meet a good person,
right? But was there ever a time when you were like, didn't think I would? Like I'm a very emotional person, period. So there was no doubt.
No, I never thought you would be like.
I'm never gonna.
Danny cries in front of me. All
Yeah.
No, but my mom was always like, wait until your 30s. Just hard.
Well, I feel like that. I don't care if my son gets married at 35 or 36.
Yeah.
Like when he's 36, he could have the pick of the litter. He could go from 24-year-olds to 30. He's got like a large
Damn,
list of people.
who is this kid? He sounds like a stud.
I also think like it's way more of a conversation now around like even just like Paige DeSorbo, for example, like just broke up with her boyfriend and she's 32 and like this
Paige,
one quote is going,
call me.
No, literally call him.
You're beautiful.
Like vetted him. Like, no, I have her number. Should I text her?
One of my celebrity crushes. I wouldn't say I am friends with Hannah Berner, but we're friendly.
She's hilarious.
And
I just learned she's married.
She is married. She's been married for a little bit to Des Bishop. Yeah.
I know that.
But let her know I say hi.
Okay. Hey, Paige.
Hi.
Wait, so when you go on dates, do you meet them in person? Do you mostly meet them on apps?
How do you meet the girlies?
Haven't. So I was on First Rounds on Me.
I'm also assuming that you're straight.
Yes, straight. First round. So I was on First Rounds on Me. I have taken dating apps out of my life. Mostly First Rounds on Me was the only one I had actually within the last like 2 years.
Oh, wow.
Because
you're out and about. You meet people.
So when I was like, especially drinking, I was out and about. I didn't need them. I found them to be more of a distraction than anything. Now I find the dating app culture to be too transactional.
Yeah.
Right? You could go on a really good date and then be on the subway ride home and find yourself swiping again.
Yeah.
And it's like, but I just went on a really good date where I could see it maybe moving at least into a second and third date. Why am I now trying to find others? And I always take it back to like in New York City, I think the problem with dating is that there's a grass is always greener mentality.
Yeah, very true.
When a lot of the time that is very untrue.
Right. Like, is there someone better?
Yeah. You like, I think a lot of trouble with commitment in New York City specifically comes down to the man or woman being out in public and seeing all of these people they find attractive and being like, oh, but this is out there and that's out there. But meanwhile, if you really find yourself connecting with someone and liking someone, yes, there may be maybe not red flags, but like, things you don't like, but that's like when you guys like can grow together.
Right.
Do you find that like after a date, you're like you're not focused on that person, even if you really did like her, you're still thinking about the next option. Because I honestly wasn't like that.
I was like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was a little sleut back in the day. Oh my God.
Slutty Nigel.
Well, you know what's so funny is I had a girlfriend, then she cheated on me, and like I loved her. And so for 2 years, I was just going to town, just getting after it. Right. And so
everyone needs a slutty stage.
Yeah.
But it probably
Need a whore
satisfy you.
A whore phase.
You probably felt sad.
Yeah, it wasn't super fulfilling. It really wasn't. And, you know, again, like I can kind of talk to anyone. So I would go out, meet someone.
Bang, bang.
Bang, bang, one night stand. And then there wasn't any fulfillment to it. And when I was dating, it was like, oh, they're hot.
Right.
Sweet.
Right.
Let's go.
No foundation.
There wasn't any foundation to it. There wasn't really any principles behind it, right? Now, dating sober.
They were dumb hot.
No, but now I try to date with intention, and I'm very forward if like maybe like there's been instances while dating sober where maybe I didn't feel like a future connection, but they were someone I still wanted to like hang out with, you know, hang out.
Hang out with
so I tried to establish that or just be open and honest with them because I was in the program for a little bit. I've taken a step back from it, but I still like some of the principles that they have from like the 12 steps and everything. One of them is like you shouldn't seriously date within your first year of sobriety.
Interesting. Okay.
However, I want to date with intention. Right. But it has to be someone that I really feel connected with.
Right.
If after one, you know, I always like try to give someone like not a second chance, but I always try to give it a good go.
Yeah.
So it's usually never like one date pause.
Done.
It's I want to
tell
like
her too. Like give somebody a second chance. You know.
And I think I'm someone that tries to see the good in everyone and find the positives in
I resonate
everyone.
with that.
Yeah, I always try to like go into any situation because I, as someone with like clinical depression, anxiety, alcoholism, the whole nine, like if I don't enter situations positively, then I have like this doom mentality, right? And that was like what my therapist told me. So I need to like approach everything
a man in
positively.
therapy.
Do you share all of that on your dates, like the first date, or do you?
I'm usually pretty open about it. Well, I'm usually pretty open about it on social media.
Really rare. So someone who's going on a date with you might already know about you.
Or have an inkling about it. And I'm always upfront about my sobriety, my baggage per se, right? So
bring the baggage. Let them know. I was never like. And I saw something where it was like, why are you trying to like change the way you actually are on first or second dates when like ultimately they're gonna end up not like they're gonna end up liking you for that way, and then your real true self is gonna come out and they're like, who is this person?
I'm a horrible actor. You'll never get anything but the real me.
Same. Like I was never able to like put on like a game front or like the chase. Like I was like, if I liked someone, it was like, you knew, I knew. I was making it apparent that you knew. And like I used to be like, wait, maybe I'm coming on too strong. But I was like, you know what? The person who actually will really like want to be with me will not care that I'm upfront being like, no, this is like a good thing happening right now. Let's keep it going.
They feel the same way about it, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. And so that's what I'm really trying to find. I think I can find connection quite easily, but it's like about then the next steps. Could I see myself with them, right? I usually will try to give that a go. And if it's not that, then I'm very upfront. I really try not to ghost people. Granted, it can happen at times. I always say after the first date, it's kind of mean. After the second date, it's actually mean.
Right.
So
I'm actually really resonating with what you just said around like you can connect. I think you just like had a light bulb go off for me when I was single. Was like I was able to connect with people so easily, like on any date, even if like they were so boring, I was still having fun and like still chatting. So think we were like having a connection.
You can entertain yourself.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So then like I would leave being like genuinely confused. Like, did I even like this person or did I just like what I was saying?
Yeah, exactly.
Did I just think I went on a great day with myself?
I'm sick.
No, but you know what I mean? Like not to sound like whatever, but I mean just like it was so confusing to understand if it was like a real connection, if we had a good time, or is it just like I was able to make conversation with someone. A lot of the time, the guy was communicative. Like I didn't go on a lot of dates with guys who were like,
you didn't go out with no bums.
No, yeah, but there was like there were like a handful. There were a handful.
Yes, Jenny.
Yeah, there were a handful of bozos here and there, but like I would always be so confused because I'm like I was so easy. I was able to connect people so easily. So I was like, do I like them, or did I just like the situation that was happening?
Yeah, did I like the sound of my own voice? I think. Yeah.
I honestly don't like my sound of my own voice.
So when you do date now, like since you're not drinking, do you like prefer to go to a museum, a date, coffee, or you still go to a bar? Or?
Yeah, so I wouldn't say I have like an order of operations when it comes to like what I like dating wise. Dinners, I think have been really nice.
Dinner on first date.
Yeah,
First date?
yeah. So
That's
I
nice.
was really anti-dinner first date when I was drinking.
Yeah.
Because I was like, oh, it's too much. There's 3 fucking courses. I gotta sit here.
Doesn't have to
I'm
be.
just trying
You
to
could
get
just get
laid.
made.
I really just came to drink. You know, and so, but now, you know, I think it provides ample time for you to get to know someone. Like a quick lunch as well. I went on like a lunch date the other day. That was really nice. Met her outside of her work.
Oh, I think in your spare time, another job is you should be a comedian.
You're
really funny.
I don't know if I have the bravery.
You're
for
very
it.
funny. But
Thank
okay,
you.
so lunch date.
Lunch date.
That works because
walks,
then she
coffee.
also has a back end. So it's not like you have to sit there for 3 hours.
And
I like that.
I'm not trying to like take people's fucking time, you know? Like, you know, we have our date. If it goes great, I'll see you again. And the next plan can be something a bit more comprehensive. I think for like
she must have been so
first date.
excited though, coming back from lunch. Her whole office was probably like, so how did it go?
Yeah. We actually went out to dinner again recently. Or was that yesterday?
Do we like
2 days ago. Yeah, she's cute. She's cool. Yeah.
Oh, good.
Love.
Yeah, she's really, really sweet.
Love.
Okay. I like that.
Wait, I had a question around I wanted to go back to sober dating because I think even just whether, you know, it was a problem, I don't like the word problem, so I'm sorry I used that, but or people are just like stopping drinking. I feel like there's such a weird stigma around like going on dates and not drinking because right, like you said, usually first dates are drinks, and people feel weird about dinner for some reason. I don't think it's weird either. What was that experience with you, and how do you find that people were reacting to, you know, the fact that you don't drink? Because people are so comfortable on dates to like be holding a drink, but it's like, who cares? It's a fucking seltzer.
You just have to be honest.
Yeah.
You just have to be incredibly upfront. That has to be something established before the date. Typically, you don't really want to show up to a date and then just be like, oh, sorry, I don't drink. And
I used to do
she's
that.
like already pre-gamed with wine and all these things.
I used to pre-game for dates when I was like early.
I know this shit. I used to do it too. So like, you know, you just have to be really upfront and straightforward with people. And, you know, granted, I'm meeting people out in the wild, but a lot of people I meet through the internet, frankly, and they probably know already. But if I were to meet someone in the wild,
nice. You had a little like preface already to
yeah. But you know, even if I do, I'm so like, I love like joking about my sobriety. It makes me like feel better about it because I think
it makes the person more comfortable.
Yeah, exactly. I think a lot of people can see sobriety as this really daunting thing, especially the way that I got sober with, you know, I was having issues with my life and I, you know, got sober, got clean, and things have gotten a lot better.
Yeah.
But, you know, I try to like be light about it and make jokes about it and like, you know.
Yeah, because they'll feed off of that energy too.
And like I'm still fun. You know what's I really
very fun.
Thank you.
Can confirm, girlie is.
Right.
What's up,
He's
Paige?
fun.
Paige, hey.
And this is without drinking. You must have been like off the rails.
I was this times 10. So I mean, at that point, I think I was just annoying. I was just a yapping, flirting maniac, but
jumping all over the place.
Yeah, exactly.
I literally have like I have such a good vision of you now, but I can kind of imagine you just being like arms flailing in a bar, like
hopping all over the place.
You know, I was a lot of fun, and I still am a lot of fun. It's just it's a little bit more reined in. It's a little bit more like one-on-one. I don't really like going out to like lounges or like crowded bars or definitely not clubs. Clubs can.
Yeah.
But I'm not trying to hear
but you're a music guy
hats for 4 hours. Right. But like, so I like going to dive bars and like throwing, you know, money in the jukebox and playing something, right? Talking with individuals, playing pool, right? Or like, you know,
history, man, let me tell you.
Yeah. Or like going to the events, like the first rounds on the event was fun and things like that. I like things where I can have genuine conversations with people and I'm not just like mulling around.
And like screaming in someone's ear.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
But we're actually the perfect example, all three of us, because now none of us drink. And you know what? We don't need to have we don't need to be personable, up, fun.
Exactly.
Engaged,
yeah. It's kind of a made up thing to think you need alcohol to have fun. I thought I needed alcohol to like flirt. I thought I needed alcohol to have fun.
Right.
You know, to make new friends, all these things. And, you know, I think there's a few things with that. One, I sort of lost the fear of rejection. There are things that I've taken from
when you were drinking
from my time drinking that I've tried to bring over to my life.
Okay.
One of which is like the lack of the fear of rejection. Because when you're drunk, obviously your impulses are lowered and you're a bit more confident, right? But there's no reason to not be that confident and that self-assured outside of drinking.
Totally.
When the drinking is just the chemical kind of making it up. But it wasn't. It was actually me, maybe in a heightened state, sure. But I can just take that now. And I don't really have much of that. If they like me, they like me. If they don't, they suck. You know? So
they're lost.
It's funny. I was actually when I drank like here and there now more than I did the past 2 years, I would say. But when I was drinking, I was never like trust me, I like partied. Like I was like your classic like sorority girl. Then post college doing all the things, bar hopping. Like I was that girl.
This one,
but
Theta.
DG they dropped me because I was Jewish. But
DG.
Yeah, I was like the most like the jappiest sorority. But anyway, I was your classic like, party girl, but I was never the one who was like getting so wasted rolling on the floor. That was never me. Yeah. So it's funny when I stopped drinking, I was very much like copy paste exactly how I was when I was sober versus drinking. Like I was still drinking, I was like still comfortable going up to people, and then I realized sober, I was still comfortable doing that too. And I didn't think I would be that way. And it got to a point where I think I said this before, but I'll say it for the sake of telling you, I was on my best friend Remy's bachelorette party in Tulum. It was when I was starting to like think about how much I was hating alcohol.
Right.
And I the whole weekend didn't drink. Granted, I was like on some mushrooms, but like it was
that's
like
the new thing.
It was my first love, but it was my first like time really just like not drinking in a setting like that, especially my best friend's bachelorette. And I said to Remy at the end of the weekend, I was like, do you like mind that I'm not drinking? She was like, I had no idea. So in that moment, I was like, okay, if my best friend doesn't even realize that I'm not drunk versus sober, like it was like a real like realization for me, like, okay, I can do this.
You are not, you're still yourself.
Yeah.
When you're not drinking, you're just a potentially heightened version. Typically, all you are when you're drunk is more crass, more vulgar, sloppier, worse in bed.
Was that someone told you that?
No, well, it's like, there's whiskey dick, there's all these things, like, that can happen. There's not really any pros to it except maybe like the initial approach, but that's anxiety you get over, like hopefully as you grow older, but just as you become more self-assured and confident.
Now,
absolutely.
As you're 29, whatever. I think for some people though, it's like liquid courage, like because they just don't have
What's something to do?
They don't have our
They're
personalities
bored.
though, like where they could get up and be personable and chit chat and whatever. So some people need it as a little,
or it gets them to the place in the first place, right? Or they find that they have to make friends this way, or their friends only want to do drink and go out, which I think I've run into like a little bit of like a roadblock with some of my college friends who like are very work hard, play hard. So
where'd you go to school?
I went to Ithaca College in upstate New York.
So funny.
So I know the Jewish Westchester type very well. But a lot of them
really do love New York.
I love New York. Yeah, I love it. It's like
the
it's the best.
Ithaca.
I know. God, talk about freezing ass
I was Syracuse. It sucked.
Yeah.
And granted, I was in like little like booty shorts and like God knows like themed outfits, and I'm like, yay, summer.
Yeah, you cover it up with a pea coat.
Yeah,
underneath.
Yeah, you bring a frat jacket.
Walk into the bars.
Yeah,
she was Syracuse. So
so
same
shit.
But it's I think I've run into a little bit of a roadblock with them with like on weekends they're drinking. During weekdays they're busy. So I haven't been able to like super see a lot of them, and I.
But aren't they really proud of you?
They are proud. They are proud of me. I think and some of them have voiced that
they should be supportive.
Yeah, it's not that they're supportive. It's just I think like there's a misalignment of current values.
Okay,
and they're doing great. They can keep doing whatever they want.
Right.
It's but like that's the one holdup I will say is like I don't necessarily want to go like to a dive bar right after work.
Yeah.
And
your
they're all
priorities
like
are
going
shifting.
hard, So like there's different, it's more of a priority shift. Still love those kids to death. And I try to see them when I can.
Right.
Yeah. Like we'll watch a game or something, but I kind of need like when I'm out, I kind of need an activity. I need like trivia. I need pool. I need conversation. I need, something in my hands. Like, so yeah.
Love.
Seltzer
with lime.
Yeah, there's a lot of good like non-alcoholic beers too. The Heineken 0.0.
Oh yeah, I've had some non-alcoholic beers.
Tastes just like it.
Yeah.
Like, hell yeah.
Yeah, there's so many options these days.
Yeah.
Do you want to play my little game?
Wait, I want to ask him one more question.
Oh, I love games.
Well, no, we have more time though.
Okay.
What do you find the most? I do want to do those questions. So, what do you find most attractive in someone beyond looks?
Ambition, drive, focus on what they love, but also having passions outside of that. I find very attractive. Banter.
Banter's the best word
Banter
ever.
and a sense of humor I think are so important. If we can improv how we met to like new people, that shit gets me going.
Yeah. Well, the
Hey,
gift to
Paige.
gab.
Hey, Paige. No whiskey, Nick.
It's just gonna be a whole page. The title will just be
I
Nigel
literally
Roxbury
have
tries
to
to
send it
Riz
to her.
Paige to Sorba.
My best friend's her agent. I have to send it to her.
That would be amazing.
But the gift to gab, like either you have it or you don't. You have to be really comfortable in your skin.
You do.
But I
Yes.
do think you can become. I do think you can build confidence, and that like the gift to gab comes with that.
You want to hear my best advice for building confidence?
Yeah.
I know this is a really goofy piece of advice.
No, I like it.
Take an improv class.
Honestly,
that's
I
good.
swear to you,
I'm guessing you've taken an improv
I was a
class.
child actor.
Okay.
So I took
Were
a
you
lot
in anything?
growing up. It was like I mostly did like short films, commercials, background work. Because I started in LA and then I moved to Austin,
Right.
and where Austin was like doing a lot of these tax credits for shooting. So like I've been a background in Friday Night Lights, a few like NBC shows, all these things.
Love.
But I stopped because I wanted to smoke weed with my friends.
Yeah.
And being on set was so boring. But you know, there were so many boring aspects
The
to
truth
it.
comes out.
Like it takes 14 hours to set up a light. But
yeah, that's the case with like photo shoots too.
Yeah.
But then
we're
what
on
about
set.
your music also? Like you have so many things. Is that
yeah, music has definitely taken kind of a backseat throughout this.
you have a lot going on?
I have a lot going on. I've found that other avenues right now make sense for me as far as where I've turned my passions to, but also just strictly monetarily. Like, 29 in New York, got to pay rent, all these things. Music takes up a lot of money and a lot of time.
Yeah.
And I find that there was a little, not as much return in it. And I actually just want to take it away from money because I didn't make music to make money. I made it because I love doing it.
Passionate about it.
But my drinking took away a lot of passion for a lot of things.
You're probably numb.
It was my priority number one was going out, getting laid.
Yeah.
Right.
And having as much fun as I possibly could.
I'm sure you were
Check.
very successful in everything.
I did okay.
Yeah, I'm sure
I was
you
a
did
whore.
really well.
Jenny, I was a whore.
So what's your body count? I'm kidding.
Oh my
Not
God.
like that woman you
Fam.
were telling me about today.
What?
The OnlyFans.
Bonnie
girl.
Blue.
Bonnie Blue.
Yeah. It's all over the internet.
No. It's like one of those things
It's
in
disgusting.
a museum where it says like you can't touch it, but you want to touch it. Like
Right.
I can't stop. Like she's like I'm in a rabbit hole of her content. Like not her OnlyFans.
Yeah.
Like the content of like the men who were going to it. Like I can't wrap
Get
my
your
head around.
bag, queen. That's all I'll say. Get your bag.
No, she's laughing to the bank. I know
Yeah.
that, but like 1,057 men in 12 hours.
Is that how many it was?
Yeah.
How? I don't even know how that's
How?
possible.
How?
You get
someone
one
did the
pump.
math.
You get one pump in, and
No,
then you're
someone
done.
did the
There-
math,
there
and
are
it was
multiple
average of like
guys.
3.5, like 4 like minutes each guy. Like it was like, I know I saw so much.
They
about it.
probably only need 3.5.
No, the
minutes. Could you
guys would,
imagine
like,
the guys
come in?
rolling in there.
Yeah, they
And she was
probably
a pretty lady.
2 pump chumps.
The guys were.
Yeah.
1, 2. Okay, it's probably
Yeah.
like
The guys-
seconds.
The guys were going in, and like this one guy I saw on interview, this guy was like disappointed because he like thought it was gonna be a one-on-one moment, and
No,
it ends up
speed
he
round,
goes
homie.
in there, and there were like 10 guys, and they're just going like pump, 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 and he was like disappointed, and the interviewer was like, "You came here like out of 1,000 guys." I can go on and on, but that's fucking
Came here,
him.
but didn't
Yeah.
came.
I
No,
just like-
no foreplay.
I just like know she has a UTI. Like there's just
She
no way.
must.
She must have a
She
UTI
must.
or a yeasty. Not to get gross. Anyway, okay. We could do your game in a second, but I wanted to ask
okay,
you this.
I'm okay.
Where was it? I had it up here, I think. Up here meeting in my brain. You're obviously very like personable, energetic. You have good vibes. Do you think that you will either, or do you seek, or do you think you'll end up with someone who really matches that energy, or someone who's more reserved? Not that I'm saying you're not reserved after saying all those things.
What's
but
so
like,
funny is that I actually do find myself falling for the more reserved type,
interesting. Yeah.
which is interesting. And I
Mhm.
haven't like talked with my therapist about that or like really deep dove into it.
Mhm.
I think it's like good to have someone that can kind of balance who
Yeah.
you are in a way. I need to like think more about that because like as I've looked at whom I've seriously dated, they haven't been the super duper like outgoing type. I do love that individual, but I also think it can be a little exhausting at times.
Yes.
You know, because I'm like, my brain goes 1,000 miles an hour.
Yeah.
And then when I want to like be with, you know, my significant other, and that time is more tranquil and relaxing
but you
and
could
chill.
turn it off.
I'm speaking for myself too, because I am that person that you were describing. And there is a time where you could turn, like, you're like that too. Like you could probably turn it off too. Like you said, you are a blabber.
That's what I like to do, you know, with my significant other. Obviously, I want to have fun and we're out and doing things, right? But I think a lot of that time and a lot of that connection comes from a comfortable, tranquil place where your ambition, or not your ambitions, your like tensity is lower and your stress is lowered, right?
Right.
And so it's hard to be like zing, 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 zing when you're kind of in that mode.
But
and
it's also nice for someone to match your energy too.
It
It's fun as long as you're not like, you know, at each other.
Heads. I think there's also like no way to really know. Like I don't even think there needs to be a time for you to think about it, because like I used to date guys who were
mutes.
Okay.
No,
they
were quiet.
Oh shit.
No, they
were
were very, very quiet with like other people. They were never like the chatty Cathy in the room.
Okay.
But when we were like alone,
I mean, good people. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying
they were
bad.
not good
They
people.
weren't good
They were
people.
really like the definition of like
the truth comes
like
out.
just bad boyfriends. Like I'm sure they've grown up now, and like praise be to them.
I'm the opposite. I'm like ping, ping, ping off the wall, like in you know, public, but I can tone it down.
So can I. I mean, my boyfriend wouldn't say the same, but I know I can. But I think I used to always say like, I think I need someone opposite of me because I'm so much, and like I'm the one who could like hold the conversation during a double date. Like I don't need someone, but like I'm with someone who he would disagree, but like I think he's the male version of me. Like, like very, very chatty. My friend who set us up says like we fight for airtime. And I think like I think I expected to end up with someone who was a little like toned down than me, and you could just end up with someone that is exactly the same as you. I don't think there has to be a moment for you to think about it, because there's really no answer. Like you might end up like being with someone who is like spitting image of you.
Yeah, you know, we'll see. I have like, it's not even that I like the more reserved people. It's just whom I end up with.
Right.
And I think like people that are maybe a bit more introverted, like someone that's a bit more extroverted. It may take
probably brings them out in a way.
It brings them out, or it maybe takes the social pressure off of them in a way. It's like, you know, I think that's something I need to like really think about and learn about what I want.
Right.
And that is something I'm navigating through sobriety. I had no fucking clue what I wanted back in the day. And now,
so young.
Yeah, I was young. I was young. But you know, now it's about kind of figuring out whom I really connect with, and you know what kind of personality type that is.
Yeah, and it's good because you've been out there and now you know what you want. So when you
I've been out there, Jenny.
No, but you know what I mean. When you find it, you're sorry,
except for
you don't upset Paige, but. You know what I mean? When it's not like this is your first rodeo. When you meet that person, you will know.
I also think there's like people who are introverted extroverts. Like I think there could be a side where it's like you're so outgoing. I think like you're probably one of those, and I would like to title myself that too. Like when you're out, like you just like love like being with people and exploring different things. But then when you're like you just like your time alone too, where you're like home. I don't know about you.
What
but,
do you
like,
call those days?
Me days.
Me days, right?
Like,
I love a me day.
She always says I'm having
I had a me day. I had a me day Monday. It was great.
She loves that.
I love a me day so much. Okay, do you want to get into our game?
Okay.
Well, to preface, so you always ask people questions, and like,
and I was wondering where
you never answer them. So,
like, great! Wait, is this trivia?
Yeah, we're asking you.
Let's go.
We're asking you trivia that was in what is this, the post?
So this was in the post, and after you might have even seen it. I'll give it to you afterwards. Okay. We'll have lots of questions. It's the quiz of the year of 2024.
So is this 2024 related?
2024 related.
Okay.
So I just picked out like 10 questions just to do for fun.
Hit me.
But,
how do you find your questions before we start?
Yeah, that was one of my
my brain,
too.
ChatGPT, and Google.
All right. Well, now I'm going to give you like 100 questions.
Okay, let's do it.
I'm going to hit 10. Okay. So we're going to start in a little entertainment.
I love entertainment.
What 2010s TV show experienced a popular streaming resurgence? Suits, Homeland.
Suits.
Oh, yep.
It's Suits, like no doubt.
Yeah.
And I'm playing too, by the way.
And I loved it too. What song plays during the flash mob dance in the opening credit of The Perfect Couple? Criminals.
Criminals.
By
What's The Perfect Couple?
It's Criminals.
The show. You're right.
What's that? What show?
The murder mystery in Nantucket. Netflix. You have to watch it.
Yeah.
I'll check it out.
It's a good flick.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
Love
the
murder.
song was by Meghan Trainor.
Yeah, I knew that.
Okay.
Sorry to steal your thunder.
Yeah.
It's suddenly a competition.
It's 1-1.
It's suddenly a competition.
What song did Luke Combs and Tracy Chapman duet?
Fast car.
Fuck.
And it was so good.
Yeah.
You guys are so good that you're not even letting me read the question.
You're doing good.
What Netflix show?
Dumb hot.
Yeah.
Maybe one day.
What Netflix
No,
show
literally no.
told a true story about a stalker? Baby
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 elephant.
reindeer.
Baby
You
elephant.
guys are really
Baby
good.
elephant.
Okay.
We used to call you baby elephant in the
And the pool.
no baby dolphin.
Baby
You know how,
whale.
you know,
Baby
you know
whale.
when you're in a pool, you could like hold anyone any weight. So I'd be like, hold my mom, and she'd be like, I'm like a baby whale.
I'm
Baby
so
whale.
strong, Mom.
Baby whale. How many? This I didn't know.
Wait, can you make
How-
sure you're talking?
I am.
Okay.
How many parts is Wicked? 1,
Two.
2.
3.
Yep, 2.
Oh,
Okay. Now I'm going to get into sports.
I'm out.
Let's go.
I'm out.
I'm in.
So out.
It's just really 3 questions.
Okay.
What legendary football coach was fired from his NFL team? Andy Reid.
Bill Belichick.
Yep.
Shit, Nigel.
You really know your shit.
Yeah.
I'm going to skip sports.
No.
I know I have 2 more.
Okay.
Which NFL team did not fire its coach mid-season? The Jets, the Bears, or the Giants?
The Bears.
You're right.
Brian Dable's still there.
Niall's right.
Somehow, somewhere.
I was just like
Okay.
messing around.
The Kansas City Chiefs became the first.
Taylor Swift. No.
Taylor Swift. Yeah, I was literally about to say Taylor Swift.
The Kansas City Chiefs became the first back-to-back Super Bowl champs since what other team?
Patriots.
I actually knew that too.
Did you?
I
Wow. Okay.
Shout
now
out
we're going to
Tom
get into
Brady.
quotes.
All right. Oh, quotes.
I don't know why it's quotes though. When Justin Timberlake was arrested for driving
The
under
World
the
Tour.
influence.
did. He threw a chair.
The World Tour.
Yeah.
Oh.
What tour is this going to ruin? The World Tour.
Yeah.
Oh, what?
He said
The
that to
other
the
choices were the Grammys or the Trolls premiere. Yeah, I was very, very invested in Justin Timberlake.
Oh, nice. Thanks for sharing.
No, because we were in SAG, so it happened.
Yeah.
in
Oh, it
Sag
happened in
Harbor.
Sag
That was
Harbor.
very like Hamptons Montauk thing.
Yeah. That's funny.
Which country star?
Luke Combs.
No, I don't even know who this woman is, though. By the
Zach
way,
Bryan, Brianna Chicken Fry.
Morgan
Yeah,
Wallen.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
that's scary.
Wow, I'm not even letting her get
No,
through
but that
the
was
question.
obvious.
But it said which country star did Brianna Chicken Fry
Zach Bryan.
claim over or offered her $12 million to keep quiet about the breakup? Who
Zach Bryan.
is this Chicken Fry chick?
She works at
She's a friend of
Barstool.
mine. She's cool. Yeah, she dated my friend for a long time.
She is the cover of.
I don't think she's the cover. Of
Well,
Sports
she's the
Illustrated.
digital cover.
She's the digital cover.
Which is huge.
Good for her.
Talk about revenge body
Yeah, for
after
real.
a breakup.
She looks great. Yeah, no,
hot.
she's cool. Yeah, Bree.
So what is she, a personality?
Yeah, she's a
or-
personality. She started on
Barstool.
TikTok and has a podcast and really funny.
She started at
very
Barstool,
cool.
right?
She started on her own, got hired by Barstool,
Okay.
and then from there, like, kind of exploded. Yeah.
And then went out with this country
Zach
guy?
Bryan,
Yeah.
like they were dating for a bit, and it ends up like they broke up, and he was like, it came out he was like insanely abusive.
Yeah,
and, like,
very emotional.
very emotional, abusive, and now she's like the cover of like Sports Illustrated.
Danny,
Just-
would you do 12 million or would you talk about it? Would you take the 12 million and sign the NDA or would you?
If I had the money that she probably already has, no.
Yeah, fair.
Like she does very well on her own.
Yep.
And maybe if I was like a literal nobody that was like desperate for money and like needed money to like support my life, but like she's very successful in her own right.
Absolutely.
She's definition of a girl boss. She
Mhm.
doesn't need the money.
Bree, go off, queen.
Like I'm
Doing
sure
great.
she's like making enough, like doing whatever other brand deals she's
Mhm.
doing now.
Yeah, I had no idea who
I
she
wouldn't
was.
take it.
Okay, a few more. Which of these 2024 buzzwords refers to having romantic appeal?
Riz.
Yeah, I never
Yeah.
heard of that. How
Because you're
It's
literally
charisma.
it's charisma.
Oh,
Because you're literally ancient.
yeah. I mean, we don't have this in the suburbs.
No,
of
but I think
Westchester.
Riz is stupid.
All right, this one I know, and I even saw it in like I
What do you
flew
got?
to a town to get the full view. What kind of eclipse blanketed the U.S.?
Buffalo.
A total lunar eclipse.
Oh, a total lunar, right?
No, a total solar eclipse.
Total solar.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Yo, you want to hear something funny? I was so hungover. I missed that entire thing. I slept through the entire thing.
I forgot. We flew to like the Canada border and
I sat outside and without the glasses and just like looked at this and didn't do anything. Was that your question?
No, I had a few more. If you want to do 3 more, we could blow it off. It's
we could do
people.
3 more. I like
yeah, let's do it.
Okay. People. Which comedian assaulted Elmo on the Today Show? Dave Chappelle, Pete Davidson, or Larry David?
Larry David.
I think it was Larry David. Yeah. I know that one.
Okay.
I like barely saw that. If there was no multiple choice.
It like rings a light bell.
Yeah.
Okay, just 2 more. What is the name of Justin and Hailey Bieber's baby?
That I would have no clue about.
Is it like Blue or something?
Jack Blue.
Jack Blue Bieber.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a cool name. I like that.
Yeah.
All right, this still now. What headline during halftime at the 2024? Who headlined during halftime at the 2024 Super Bowl? Beyonce.
Oh, it was Beyonce.
No.
Usher?
No. Oh,
Usher.
It was Usher.
Beyonce was a few years ago.
Beyonce just did the halftime of the Christmas game. That's what I was like.
Oh, didn't know that, but that's
all right. So now you have 100 questions.
Oh my God! Thank you. No, these are great. I'm always like looking for new dumb hot questions. Thank you.
Okay, to wrap, we want to start doing this new thing.
Okay.
So you're our first person we're testing it out with. We want to end our podcast the same, and we're gonna do like finish the sentence. So I'm gonna ask you say a few statements, and you're gonna finish.
Great.
It. Ready?
Yeah.
The most common misconception about dating is
that has to be serious at all times. I think like there's a lot of fun to be had in dating when you are getting to know someone. Don't settle, but have fun. You know,
that's what we say. Fun.
Yeah,
don't
have
take
fun.
it so seriously.
Have fun getting to just know and meet and welcome new people in your life. There are many dates that I've had where they just became friends and now we're really close. Not romantically, but I'm so glad I went on that
Do you think
date.
you could be friends with a girl?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Back in the day, no, because I just wanted to sleep with them. Now I'm much better at separating the two. I have many girlfriends and I love them to death. I mean,
I need my dad to hear this. My dad's listening right now. I know he is.
Really good piece of advice for the homies out there. Become friends with baddies. Baddies know many more people than you do and have many more connections than you do. And if you're their friend and you come from a genuine place with that, it can provide access that you will never imagine you in your wildest dreams.
Amen. Period.
Yeah.
My dad, who's like our #1 listener, so he'll hear this, and I don't agree with you, Dad. He is like so adamant that you cannot be friends. Like, if
that
you're both
guy's
straight.
just one thing.
Well, yeah. So I grew up like my whole entire life. I've always had a lot of guy friends on top of having girlfriends. Girlfriends are the most important thing, but I've always just had guy friends that are truly guy friends. Like never hooked up with like whatever, like dabbled in a few, but like in high school, but like. Or like maybe a little college, whatever. But like,
oh no, we've all like accidentally hooked up with our friends.
But my guy friends who I have like now, like obviously like I've trimmed off a lot of people that I'm just no longer friends with, for lack of better, just like growing up and growing apart. But like I have guy friends right now that are truly just like friends. Like I like go to for like advice, vice versa. We go to dinner. Like my dad just can't wrap his head around it.
I think your dad lives by happy wife, happy life. And Janny's like, you can't have no girlfriends.
No, my dad's like is like, men are simple-minded. He used to always say they want one thing and one thing only. And like obviously we're supposed to say like sex, but he's like spaghetti, like being stupid. Pizza, yeah. But he's like, men are simple.
He sounds like a goober.
They just want to fucking bang you.
Yeah.
Anyway.
No, we just were talking about the other day. Men are simple creatures. They want to be fucked and fed. That's what we said the other day.
That sounds pretty nice.
It's pretty, yeah. Well, they got him in my cooking era.
Yeah.
I also just realized I asked you a question from our guest that we're having tomorrow, but that was a great answer. The best place to meet people is? In your opinion?
Friends of friends.
Yeah, that's
at
nice.
A location of some sort, an event, a birthday party, something like that, because it's someone that can vouch for you. And I think that's important.
I like that.
Okay, we'll do a few more. The most overrated dating advice I've ever heard is?
That you need to grab drinks for a first date.
Yeah. Amen.
Yeah. Don't need to.
When I'm getting to know someone, the first thing I want to know about them is
I want to know their childhood trauma. No, I'm kidding.
If they give blowjobs.
Oh, Jenny!
Mom, he's out of his fuckboy era.
You nailed it.
We're out of his era.
No, yeah.
He's gonna leave here a slut again.
No, I'm very proud of you.
Thank you. I appreciate
and you're great.
I appreciate it.
If you needed more mom validation, you'll get it from my mom.
Moms love me. Mr. Sorbo, if you're listening. This is just turning into one big page date me episode.
Promo.
Wait, what was the question again though? It was like,
I literally forgot. Oh, yeah. When I'm getting to know someone, the first thing I want to know about them is their bra size.
Their bra size. No, I can already tell that. I'm good at reading those. I want to know about their wit. I want to know about their conversational skills because I think that's the first thing, right? It's like, so when I'm trying to get to know someone, like let's say the conversation has been continuously solid, we can really talk about anything. We're very open about what we're talking about. No punches are pulled. And like you can say, oh, I don't like this, or oh, I like this, and kind of have the validation or the non-validation, and then you can change. I think that's super important.
I like how you answered that without saying like a certain question to ask them. It's more just like what's like their persona and what's like their aura on the date. Last but not least, the best dating advice I've heard is
you
can make it up.
I'm trying to think. I'm like, my brain is mush now.
I can throw you a new one.
Towards the end of it. Yeah, throw me another one.
Right.
That one's tough.
Tough. I'm so sorry.
The best dating advice I've ever heard or I can give.
Either or. But I can ask you a new one too. Here, let's see if you vibe with this one better.
Okay.
Oh, you'll like this one. The best thing about being single right now is, maybe you won't like it. I don't
know. The best thing about being is continuing to learn about myself. I think continuing to become a better person every day, but mentally. Yeah. Continuing to be sober. I think that there is something to not having potential relationship anxiety infringe upon my mental health. I think that's like the worst type of anxiety you can have.
Yeah.
Do they like me? Do they love me? Do they want me?
We could do a whole other episode about that.
Is this the person for me? All these things. I think not having that is really nice. But at the same time, I kind of like, it's like kind of cute to have that. And like kind of, I'm very like open to seriously dating. But there are aspects of being single that I really like, and not having relationship anxiety is definitely the biggest one.
I also think when you meet the right person, you're not going to have anxiety at all.
Right.
That's the hope.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the hope.
It's just going to feel good.
Yeah.
Me and you, Janny, we're taking on the world.
Yeah, literally obsessed.
I'm dating your mom, Danny.
Yeah, right. Oh my God.
Go find your Valentine.
Oh my God. This took a turn. Suddenly my mom has a boyfriend. Sorry, Dad. Yeah, happy almost anniversary, Mom and Dad.
Dad, you're going to have to make friends with another girl.
Yeah. It's funny. My dad, whenever he's like, where's Mom tonight with her boyfriend? I'm like, that's like not a good joke. Like
your dad loves a dad joke. Huh?
My dad
is a dad joke.
My dad
is
always the epitome of a dad
amazing.
joke. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me.
What are your million Instagram handles, TikTok, which is
my God,
might be no longer?
I do have so many, right?
Yeah, well, share the ones where you want people to see you.
So at Nigel Roxbury is like the main page. At Dumbhot, at NYC History Hub. Okay. All the platforms, except NYC History Hub is only Instagram.
Okay.
We didn't really dive into that one. We'll have to have you back.
Yeah.
I would love to come back. This was so fun. Thank
and
you
also,
so much
if you
for
ever
having me.
need someone to film Dumb Hot with you on the street, not to be in it. I'm not being on it.
Why? Come on
because I'm just going to be dumb.
Who cares? You're hot.
You could study the little questions.
Yeah. We could do them.
Yeah, we
could
cheat.
Them for you.
We could cheat. Thank you so much for listening. Tune in next week. Follow, subscribe. Give us 5 stars. Come on. Just do it. It's literally 1 second out of your day, not even a millisecond. Love you all. And we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.